All right, the third lesson in this first unit is called combined exponent rules. So it's applying what we've already learned. It's just going to have some multi-steps to the simplifying process. And it's going to be separated into level 1, 2, and 3 on the Delta Math. So that's how I decided to label it for your notes. All right, it says express the following fraction in simplest form using only positive exponents. So if we get a negative exponent, we'll have to change it. Number 1, we want to think about order of operations, like what's happening first. Okay, so it looks like it's a 5 times something to the 4th power squared divided by 20 times something to the 9th power. So I say something because that kind of helps me break it into chunks. Remember PEMDAS, it's parentheses. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's parentheses or some kind of grouping symbol. Exponents. Multiplication, division happen left to right, whichever comes first in the problem. Then addition, subtraction, left to right. So in this problem, I would first want to do parentheses, which actually is an exponent piece. So I'd want to do this power rule. You don't want to multiply first. So remember our power rule says to multiply the powers. 4 times 2 would be 8. So this would be 5 times h to the 8th, so 5 h to the 8th over 20 h to the 9th. And then we're just simplifying. 5/20ths is the same as 1/4. Okay, and then I'm going to look and say, okay, I'm going to subtract 9 minus 8. The bigger number was here, so I'm going to have 1 left over, and it's going to be on the bottom. So I did need that 1 as a placeholder. Okay. Number 2 is very similar, so if you want to pause and try it, go ahead. You should be doing this power rule first. 5 times 3 would be a to the 15th. 3/5, yeah, 3/5 can't reduce. A to the 1st divided by a to the 15th. I'm going to take 15 minus 1, which is 14. There's definitely more a's on the bottom. So let me set up my 3/5. A to the 14th left over in the denominator. All right, number 3, still very similar. The difference is that we've got power rule with a coefficient. So remember, this whole 3v is times itself 4 times. So you need to take 3 to the 4th power. It'd be 3 times 3 is 9. If you square 9, that's the same as 3 to the 4th power. So that'd be 81. You could do it on your calculator. And then this would be v to the 4th power. 6/81. What I would do if I don't want to think too hard about it is take 6 divided by 81. Hit enter. Get the decimal. Hit math, which is this third button down. And then it's already on fraction. Hit enter. Wish I could get my whole calculator on the screen. Hit enter. And it'll come up with this, and then hit enter one more time, and it changes it back into a simplified fraction for you. So I think we took each number divided by a 3, so it'd be 2/27. Right, because 6 divided by 3 would be 2. 81 divided by 3 would be 27. All right, and then 10 minus 4 would be v to the 6th. There would be more v's on the top. All right, number 4 is very similar, so you can pause it and try it. Three to the 4th power, we just did that, was what, 81? And then 2 times 4 would be m to the 8th. Hey, same numbers. 6/81 we just did, reduces down to 2/27. 10 minus 8 would be 2. Seemed too easy. Okay, level 2. We've got some negative powers. Level 2 on number 5, I still see these parentheses, which is really this exponents right here. Power to a power, we need to do that part first. So that would be 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, I've got -5 divided by -4. That can't reduce, but I don't like the negative divided by negative. That really becomes a +5/4. I'm going to float my negative second power term to the bottom. So then that would be c to the 16th times a c squared. And then I would do my product rule and add 16 and 2. So it'd be 5/4c to the 18th power. Okay. Number 6. We've got our power rule here, so do that first. That would be 5 squared, which is 25, not 10. -4 times 2 is -8. Okay, 3/25 cannot be reduced, but I'm going to take this negative exponent and move it to the top. Nine plus 8 is 17, so it'd be 3x to the 17th power all over 25. Okay, number 7 and 8 are very similar, so you go ahead and try them yourself. Okay, -3 to the 4th power. We did that right. That's 81, and it would become a positive, and then that would be y to the -4th. All right. So I know negative divided by a positive is going to be a -12 divided by 81 is a decimal. I'm going to hit math, enter, enter. 4/27. And then I'm actually just going to flip-flop these. So I get y to the +4th on top, y to the +8th on the bottom. 8 minus 4 is 4, it'd be left over on the bottom. So it'd be -4/27 y to the 4th. And then on number 8, -5 to the 3rd power would be -5 times -5 is 25. 25 times another -5 is -125. P to the -6th over -4 p to the -1st. -125 divided by -4. No, it's going to be positive. It is a fraction of, nope, can't reduce. Sorry. So it's going to just turn into +125/4. Again, I'm going to flip-flop these exponents. So I have a p to the 1st, just p, over p to the 6th. 6 minus 1 is 5 on the bottom. Okay. And I think we're going to level 3. Yep. All right, level 3, the hardest they get, are going to be some negative power rules, is what I'm seeing. What that means is, like on number 9, I have this whole thing to a negative power. You've got some options. You could go ahead and do your rule. What I'm thinking is, let's just go ahead and move this whole thing to the denominator, since this is to a negative power. So then that would be 2k to the 5th raised to the +3rd power. You can do that. Okay, so I'm going to do my power rule. This says 2 to the 3rd power. It's not 6. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. And it looks like I have nothing on top, so I'll have to put a 1. So this would be 2 cubed is 8. 5 times 3 is 15. And then I've got 2j to the 5th, k cubed. 8 times 2 is 16. J comes before k in the alphabet, right? So you want to put j first, and then 15 plus 3 would be k to the 18th. And a 1 in the numerator. Okay, so I think I'm going to do that same thing on number 10. So if you want to pause it and try it, go for it. I'm going to move this whole thing to the denominator. So this would be 4. Ooh, what do I want to do? Yeah, 4gh to the negative third. It can't change. Just this should change. Okay, and then I'm going to have, oop, that down there. Okay, so then I've got nothing on top, so I'll put a 1. I'm going to go ahead and do my power rule, so everything's getting squared. 4 squared is 16. This g is to the first power. 1 times 2 is 2. Negative 3 times 2 would be h to the negative 6th times 12 g to the 8th. H to the 8th. Ooh, it's going to get a big number. 16 times 12 is 192. G squared times g to the 8th. 8 plus 2 is 10. And then negative 6 plus 8 is h squared. Okay, I just want to show you an alternative. If you didn't like that, you could go ahead and do your power rule. This 4 would be to the negative second power. This g to the first, so 1 times negative 2 would be g to the negative second power. Then negative 3 times negative 2 would be h to the positive 6th over this. So maybe you like that better, because then everything with the negative power would have to move. So this would really be 4 squared, which is 16, which is what we had on the bottom, times 12, so we get that number. G squared would be on the bottom, which gets added. So it'd be 8 plus 2 is 10. There it is. And then we've got 6 on top over an 8, so it would leave an h squared on the bottom. So your choice of which way you like to do it the best. Or we got 2 more of the tricky ones. All right, on number 11, make sure you're not doing anything with the negative 2 yet. We just want to take this guy to the negative third power. Maybe I'll just go ahead and distribute on this one. So we've got negative 2 times, this would be negative 4 times negative 3 would be p to the 12th. And then 4 times negative 3 would be y to the negative 12th. That's kind of weird to have p and y. Over 6p to the negative third, y to the negative first. And then in just any part that has a negative power, you move. Remember, the negative 2 means nothing. It's just negative 2 to the first power. So keep it. Negative 2 over 6 reduces down to negative 1/3. Okay, I'm going to move. So that would be p to the 12th times p to the third. And then these two are going to get swapped. So I have y to the first on top, or y, and then a y to the 12th on bottom. So I would have a negative. I don't really need the 1 anymore because I'm going to have stuff on top. 12 plus 3 would be p to the 15th over 3. This would be like a 12 minus 1 is a y to the 11th on the bottom. Okay, and then number 12. What you want to do. I might just go on and distribute again. 4 to the negative third power, I'm just going to leave as 4 to the negative third power for now. Negative 1 times negative 3 is 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. So I liked doing that because now it made these positive. Over 20s to the negative second. This needs to go to the bottom. This needs to go to the top. So that would be a 4 to the positive third power, which is what, 64, right? Yep. So we've got s cubed, j to the 9th, and then that s squared goes up. And then we've got 64 times 20. Right, did I forget anything? I think so. And right, it's super neat, sorry. Oops, 64 times 20 is 1280. And then combine 3 plus 2 would be s to the 5th. So that would be your answer. Your answers get kind of funky on these. And that's it.